YOLO demon himself, looking to carry his team. Maybe they'll take turns in each other's backpacks, all of them. Incredibly talented.
Very talented.
But looking to help carry his team to this victory.
Yep.
No surprise, last time they went for that immediate loot, right? You want to get those loadouts as quick as possible. Not jump into those early gunfights, those coin tosses. No one wants to head to the luck this early.
So
you're going to end up waiting for a while, too, which is not what you want.
Resort seems to be where they love to go, and curious if we're going to be going there once again, and it looks to be the case. This has not, or they have not been challenged once since dropping here, and this is a bold move already for Breadman trying to use his secondary, just I think to back off the players. He doesn't want anyone landing in this location, but also he could be signaling the bat signal and forcing everybody in. We'll see how that ends up paying out, but right now they seem to be good to go. So why is this location where they go? Well, like I said, they haven't been challenged. They can break away, they can get their money, and the loadout drop comes very easy, which means they have a more consistent start. But this squad, Nadeshot, Symphony, Ebates, I've been waiting all day to watch them, so let's
take a peek. Nade ready and locked in, which we love to see. Looking to get a little bit better luck this time around than some of the unfortunate moments in the solo YOLO a la Formal and Co. But that top 8, that is also the payouts. It's not top 3 this time around. The top 8 teams will all get a chunk of the $100,000, with first place taking the lion's share. You do have a UAV available to you, but close to the inside of the circle, so not a bad spot for them to be initially as that circle does begin its first close.
Be careful,
I think Sim taking a few shots at someone, not sure who, but maybe an engagement around the corner.
Yo, we might have dead ass. This is like the worst place ever. There's no fucking doors.
We're good.
I love watching Nadeshot, I really do. There's no doors, as he literally tried to open one door. One door was locked. Now it's the worst place.
Well, we saw that out of War's team too. Again, this is a new map, so there's going to be certain locations where you're just like, I don't know where I am or how to get out from this location.
Right. That is the case. Symphony now, get to watch him.
Yo, we might have dead ass. This is like the worst place ever. No
get to hear it again from Nadeshot.
We're good.
I do like this squad. Symphony, great shot hitter, good competitor. Been watching him across multiple BR titles, now obviously transitioning into Warzone for quite some time. Now, serious competitor that's won some decent money. He also tried to qualify for global finals. He did have some decent runs. Ultimately, he did not make it, but he did an official watch party, so that was also great to see and kind of hear his insights. His insight's always good, right? Because he knows what's taking place. He's a competitor at heart, so he knows what it takes to win. It's just a matter of can everybody else kind of follow along suit. Now, they do have the loadout drop incoming. It's going to be great for them. They're going to get that and most likely challenge. There was another loadout drop signal just up ahead. So do they challenge or do they stay with where they're at?
That'll be a great question. We'll have to wait and see. Nadeshot does pick up that tempered perk, which I really enjoy seeing. There's so many gunfights that I've seen throughout the course of Tempered being available that has been the determiner on them winning that fight, or at least being able to escape. Because of course you only have to pick up those 2 plates to be ready to go, but they will take that zip up into the air and head off, figure out exactly who they want to find. Sniper in hand, Nadeshot, Symphony, and Ebates. Looking to make something happen here, and well, you said it. Looks like they're going for it up toward that signal tower. Who can they find? But you got to be careful depending on who you might be about to run into.
But Sniper in Symphony's hands, so able to overlook. That's going to be a solid spot. I was about to call out, is it TP? Well, no, it's not going to be. TP's in a different location, taking a bit of damage, forced to run away, gets away. PA on his feet, creates some distance between him and the opponents. They lost a teammate, and now it's dire straits to try and get away so they can recover and force his enemies into him. As far as FaZe Neo goes, though, he's able to pick up at least one more, and that was 4 in chase. Now I can see why they were running.
Can I get back to you?
A good spot for them to push into the money, though. Teep's team currently in 10th with the top 8 being in potential for the money, and it's very close. I mean, Teep's team has 23 points, 8th has 28 points. So if you can continue to string together some solid maps, very likely that they'll be able to place in the money. But we'll swing back over to Symphony. Looks like they're moseying their way back down. Not a ton of interactions just yet, and this is really where you want that to start happening. because especially in a custom, you can't be relying on jailbreaks every time. We've only seen one so far in this entire tournament. The longer that you're simply running and rotating, all of those kills, those potential engagements are slipping through your fingers. And yes, it's 15 points for a win. That's very pivotal, but you have to get those kills along top. So I'm expecting to see them look for an engagement sooner rather than later.
Katie, this crew is moving. They started on the edge of the map. They dove in on one player, they picked up one elimination, and they are now moving into another POY, potentially for a fight. And I'm curious if they're starting to heat up because they realize teams are getting close to the top, or excuse me, to that point threshold at 100 points. We need to step it up. We need to make an effort. Sitting around doing what we're doing hasn't been working. So let's start making it work for us. Like you said, top 10, a chance maybe to break in even further if they potentially can, but nobody's around, so things are going to be quiet. And I think for them, they really want to be shot at. They want an engagement, but where's everybody at? They've been moving and grooving, but not finding anyone.
Yeah, they're knocking on doors. Nobody is home. They're just trying to find at least someone to have a fight with. I mean, to get a solid game, realistically, you want to be in that 20-point area. Oftentimes, in customs too, they do at least find one, goes for the initial snipe. Can't get it through the door, but connects through the wall, breaks the armor as the rest of the team pushes ahead. But a nice shot through the wall. But usually you do want to get kind of that top 5 placing, and you want double-digit kills entirely for your team. That's usually going to set you up for pretty solid placement points, and at least in the money reflections in tournaments like this.
I don't know, bro. I think we actually
Symphony and hitting shots through the wall goes hand in hand. He does it all the time. Love how he plays, I really do. He's not scared to take shots if he needs to. His game sense is really uncanny. It's incredible. Like I said, he's had great success when it comes to Warzone. A lot of people view him as a content creator, but they don't understand that he is really a great competitive player, one to be feared on the battlefield. Because they broke the plates, I thought they would push, and they almost took a little bit too much time. And ultimately, they're forced to back away, and I'm curious if they're doing that because they want a better placing, right, in terms of placement points, or did they respect whoever they were getting into an engagement with? I don't know, but either way, they pulled back and lived to fight another day.
I think one of the problems of this, though, as we see Sim continue to take these pot shots at players, is that at some point you have to commit to something. I don't know if this is maybe an IGL discrepancy. They don't have someone who's going to give those definitive, we're going here doing X, Y, Z. But they've done essentially nothing this entire time, and you are wasting a ton of time in the process. I mean, look, you're still at a healthy lobby. There's 80 players remaining, but you don't want to dilly-dally around forever. You want to find someone, get those engagements, and then work on positioning yourself correctly for that end game.
Got a bounty on Face Neo. I don't see him on the map.
100%.
And that would be Teep's team.
It would be Teep's team, so... Which would be fun to watch this trio specifically fight against Teep's team. I would really enjoy that.
I'm just gonna keep my gas mask.
Especially Nadeshot versus Teep. They've got history.
Who do you put money on?
Ooh, that's hard. Honestly,
I can drop money. Yeah, you have
probably
enough. I can drop
TP.
money.
A lot of people were excited TP's back. TP is such a great competitive player, and a lot of people don't realize like how accomplished he is as a competitive Call of Duty player. You know, because he's transitioned into content creation for quite some time, right? But I mean, this guy TP is incredibly accomplished. He's a champion after all. So is Nadeshot. Let's not forget that I'm not comparing the two in that regard, but I think I would put TP up there in terms of a gunfight against Nade.
Let's take a look at another team that is sitting in the top 8. That's going to be Husker's team at 38 points. And already a couple eliminations. The assist comes in. I'm trying to think who exactly. That was exact. That Z-Smith took down a team wipe for them. 4 and Jace, yeah, a tough one. We saw them get taken out early, but this is exactly what you want to be doing. Get as much money as possible, get as much utility as you need, get those early eliminations, and then get set up for the end game. But take a look at that. Z-Smith now, you have that bounty on, so depending on who has it, things can get a little frisky. But let's look at our team in first place, a team that could potentially hit the match point threshold if they can get 37 points. Jowo, Breadman, and Skullface. Jowo with 2 already. The team alive and well.
Live and well indeed. They're moving.
There's like 3 guys over here.
What would they be able to find? Being out in this open area, though, makes me a little bit nervous, to tell you the truth. So I would rather get to those buildings up ahead if I could. The airspace is finally cleared up. Mortar Strike's going to be in. That might force some players back off of that roof, giving an opportunity for this trio, for Joe and Co, to continue to push up. Meanwhile, you already have, I believe that's Skullface, if I'm not mistaken, who's already up ahead. If not, it's Breadman, because they changed their names. But now on board with Teep, who was being hunted a little bit earlier by the crew of Nate Shot. So will we see that fight take place? I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The bounty was on Neo, so I'm not sure if it's... We'll have to see what happens with that. It was a little bit ago, but shots being fired across the way, potential for third parties can be a really big part of these custom tournaments, knowing when to catch someone off guard. But now it's Teep on the other end of that, gets taken down, an attempt for the revive around the car, but things looking dicey. We'll be able to get back up. Smoke for the cover to rotate away. This is why being outside, being exposed is so very dangerous, because there are so many locations with sight lines to where you are right now, and you are getting punished. Nico is fully dead. Teep with Temper, desperately trying to find safer cover. Things looking okay right now, but with that high alert, you know someone is staring straight at you, and they are not out of the woods yet.
Oh, especially for Neo, right? Both Neos or Neo and Nico are down. TP last alive. Neo does have an opportunity for a gulag, but Teep down to a sliver of health. He has been desperately trying to get away. He's been unsuccessful in doing so, and now he's on his last stand, the final stand. Nade up in the air. Nade coming in, car might be blowing up here. He's got to be very careful. The mortar strike is literally just behind him. I cannot believe he is still standing, but maybe not for long, Katie.
This is a lose-lose situation, and now you've got a bounty on top of it. I mean, there was just nowhere to go. You don't have the smokes. You just simply do not have the utility to survive.
There's
Tries
no way.
with the self. No way.
No
Doesn't get it off.
way,
Gets the
team.
redeploy. I want to know what team just allowed him to do that. Does get down, but Nico brought back into it. My goodness.
Okay.
What a play. You can hear Nico in the comms there. What a play out of Teep. Whatever team didn't just finish him there, that is an absolute fumble as we take a look at Scummin's team, the winners of map 2, sitting in 5th place. Scummin already with 3 eliminations.
Some of the best Warzone players not only know how to shoot, but they know how to disengage properly and get away with just a sliver of health. Now, whether they use smokes to do that or not, I don't know. But the way TP just maneuvered was genuinely special. Z Colors is another player that I love watching him play because he knows how to disengage. He can fight, but he can also stay alive long enough when needed. He does so in the tensest of moments. Scummin on your screen, this crew looking to make waves. They did so after game number 2, winning with 36 points, just a point below that of Joe Skullface and Breadman, who had 37 for game 1. This crew looking to also break the 100-point threshold. They're currently, I believe, in second place, if not third. They are tearing it up, and they continue to slay out. That's a track, a serious competitor, and more to take down.
Scummin not afraid to go for the immediate re-challenge, wants to get the thirst onto a track. Does just that. Spots one around the corner. Nice use of that smoke, but great job for the collapse from both angles. Does have to rotate away, as that's going to be E-Bates going down. Symphony here alongside Donkey taking out everyone. Symphony down. E-Bates down. Unrational in trouble. Sent to the gulag. Scummin not out of the woods just yet either. Will be following his teammate, and it's a team wipe. Donkey on 5. I don't know how long Donkey's going to be able to stay alive, but look at the amount of kills that they have. 18 kills. It is all about placement points for them at this point. If you have a gulag like Unrational does, this is a must-win, and then you have to play for that placement. You have more than enough kills.
This could very well be a big game. Nate's shot's going to be just opposite of Unrational. Unrational gets the early tags, but he's taking his time pushing up, respecting the shot of Nade. Shots fired, exchanged once again. Unrational very weak, feeling the pressure. He now is forced to push up with the dollies, and Nate shot takes him down. And 18 eliminations, respectable, but that's where it will end. Nate shot gives his team another chance.
And they're eliminated. That is disastrous for Scummin's team. You're in 5th place. You are only going to get, I think, 1 point for placement because you were in the 16 plus, and it's 19 points. So 19 points is a pretty good game, all things considered, but you are going to be upset because of what you should have been able to get from that in terms of placement. A monster game slips away from them. That'll be a team wipe, colors fully taken out. 4 kills now for Jowo as they continue to push. Your tournament leaders in Trio Customs looking to maintain that lead, hit that point threshold. So far, so good, but still 19 teams to go before you can close this map out.
Zone's starting to get a bit tight. You feel the pressure when high alert starts to pop off. And for Jowo, he was snaking around because he had to. He knew if I just run in a straight path, I'm getting absolutely bodied. But I am so impressed and blown away at how well this trio is playing today. They're putting it all out there, and they are making moves. 37 points is what they needed to break 100. 37 points is what they're going for in game number 3 for potential victory in game number 4. Jowo's got a player pinned down in the shed, and he's not going to let him get away for free. In fact, he wants to push this.
Well, you have to be a little bit careful, too, because they did have people behind them, I believe. So positioning, they'll have to be careful about the positioning of how they choose to play this, but they are looking to hunt that team down. Spots one on the roof, not someone to be concerned about just yet. Knows these players have to still be nearby. So many tempting shots of players out in the open, but if you can't convert them, no reason to give up your position. Does get spotted, forced to back away. How do they choose to play this? The team relatively clustered together as we swing over to FIFA Kill's team. They are sitting in 5th place, tied with Wars, who's in 4th place, 41 points, and they want to keep moving up the ladder.
Same area as Redman, Jowo, and Skullface too. So you have 2 powerhouse teams who are high up on the leaderboard in the same exact area. And I think, Katie, only one of those teams are going to be able to break away, especially once the next zone comes into play. They're not moving. They're staying in this building. It's not big, but it's big enough for all 3 to fit in, and big enough and also with line of sights that they can just, you know, pepper anybody that tries to get bold and maneuver into zone a little bit quicker. We were at 44 just a little bit ago, now down to 31. Players are dropping like flies. All the hard cover in this zone has pretty much been taken up. You're now down to just hiding behind a bush, hiding behind a rogue car that's out in the distance. There's not many options because the other trios who have got here earlier are locking in the hardcover POIs, and this is one of those trios.
This is really good positioning from. Take a look at the next circle. They are in such a good spot. They are still able to stay in this building, would give them really good opportunities to catch anyone being funneled in from the storm. So a nice heads-up play for them to get here early and get themselves set up. But of course, still a lot of players left on this map. Now keep in mind, as the next 2 teams are full wiped, we will start getting into those higher point totals for teams in terms of placement, all the way up to 15 points for first. But they spot around the corner, forced to back away, and well, who do you also have to deal with? Biffle.
Yep, got to deal with Biffle. That's what I was worried about when it came to FIFA Kill and his crew. They are in a good spot to lock in the building, but they're also in a spot where everybody else right in front of Biffle, right, are trying to rotate into your hard cover. They're going to have intense pressure, and they've got to be willing to deal with it. Destroy has fallen. Shifty takes him down. Lennon also down somehow, some way. Sage with the PA gets him, and now you've got to go to trio the global finalist winners, moving in on what I believe is going to be FIFA Kill and his crew, and shots are being hit. Biffle's on the hunt. One player on his team will drop, though. That was Shifty. This late in the game, no buybacks left available. That is devastating to lose 1/3 of your team.
Chaos in and around this building. Biffle doing his best to stay alive, goes for the wallbang, can't connect, but there for the challenge alongside Sage. 2 players for Shifty. There are no flares. There are no abilities to get him back at this point that are currently allowed. As Jowo's team also in the thick of it. Some of the top 5 teams fighting for their lives. A tricky position for them to be in right now. Actually, I mean, depending, though, if everyone's focused in the other direction, it felt like they might be able to make this work, but this is going to be the push that determines it. You have to have those smokes available, able to pick them up as they push forward, and this is the rotation that could seal the deal for them.
Risky.
37 points is what they need, and it might not be what they get as they are picked apart one by one. Now, can you stay alive for placement at that point? Just try to squirrel yourself away, but it's going to be Biffle with a takedown onto Noobs. Playing alongside Almond and Hisoka, can you get Sage up and keep things alive?
Rez.
6 teams remaining, Reflection.
6 teams remaining, 13 players, and Biffle and Sage have miraculously stayed alive. We saw just a little bit earlier, I believe Skullface, the only one remaining from the team currently in first place, but this team looking to consistently make their way up the leaderboard, and they can absolutely do so. Rocking the edge, and this is another great spot, but unfortunately gets beamed. One rogue player on the inside. That was Wars and Vision, a team that is also up the leaderboard, taking down what could be one of the most goated squads on the battlefield, and they've got all 3 alive.
Wow, that is massive, and I think the way that Sage and Biffle lined up was actually sort of tragic. I don't know if there's a clat at all there, but they were perfectly lined up in that window. Wow, a huge pickup from Wars. Team still a good placement for Biffle's team, but they will get cut down as we get into these final rotations. That circle moving toward Wars' team once again. They continue to put themselves in very good position for this end game, and it's gonna be a team wipe onto Almond. Hisoka's team is down and out as we swing over to Intex, and they are all alive as well. An amazing set of teams that are all alive here, as there's barely anyone left, and just like that, we have 2 teams remaining, a 3 versus 2.
They're in a great spot to close this out. No way that they lose this. They give up their high ground, they push up, the smokes are in, it's a bit chaotic. However, will they be able to find what is needed? There's going to at least be one. That's King AJ falling Wars as well. And believe it, his crew will take game number 3. Where they were at on the leaderboard, I don't know, Katie, but where they're going to be, most likely top 8 after that wonderful game 3 finish.